Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what led you to write this book and collect these stories in the first place.
Essentially, the veterans and their family, as a field examiner, investigator, I went out and visited with veterans and their families, and they asked me to tell their stories. They said, please don't let my story die. And they wanted me to talk about their sacrifices. I mean, ultimate sacrifice, the mother's sacrifice, the father's sacrifice, the spouse's sacrifices, and the kids' sacrifices. So they wanted me to talk about how much they commit to ensuring that the veteran or the member, the warrior, career is successful. And you know, for example, yesterday I had a book signing at Fort Sam Houston, and I explained to the lady the reason my book is called The Disabled Veteran Stories because I'm a Vietnam casualty. I'm a prostate cancer survivor, and I'm surviving. I live each day with those casualties. And she explained to me herself that she had ovarian cancer, and now she has breast cancer. So we talked about what it was like to discover or find out the first minute, hours that you have cancer, and it lasted a couple of days. So we kind of sort of traded stories. But the big part about that too is about her son, is as it's told in my book, about who has been to 7 different schools in 12 years. So those are also casualties in adjustment to with the kids at school.
Sacrifice is the heart of it. I mean, that's the word. And sacrifice takes on so many different forms, certainly for those who are out serving our country abroad. But like you said, for people back home, and the sacrifices can be smaller in terms of just having to move around more than you'd like to bigger, but it always comes back to the sacrifice that's being made.
Right. You know, and you said to me, thank you for my service. We got paid to serve, but how we serve is with sacrifice. Our family sacrifice, our parents sacrifice. So the whole essence to this is really, let's acknowledge the fact that thank you for your sacrifice and service. So if there's nothing else, the book really speaks to is about the sacrifices. So America can join me and you and say thank you for your sacrifice and your service, because everyone sacrifices.
And what do you want to see to be done for veterans and for their families and caregivers going forward, kind of from your work at the VA as well? What are some of the things we should do other than just saying thank you?
Well, what I really like for them to minimize the 22 veterans that are committing suicide daily, I like for them to acknowledge the sacrifices. And I believe that goes a long way. If you know, a lot of those veterans that are on the street corners, or about 20% of the veterans who are in street corners, has received bad conduct discharges, so therefore they're not entitled to VA benefits. So what do? They ask America to help them. So we can minimize, if we acknowledge the fact that, hey, you have served, and we appreciate your service and your sacrifice. Because they hear voices no one else hears, they see things that no one else sees.
That's right. Okay, well, you will be at Fort Hood today and for the next few days.
Yes, and they can get the book from MiguelReece.com. You go to Miguel Reece, REECE.com, or I'm having a book signing today, tomorrow, and Saturday at Fort Hood.
Wonderful. Well, Major Miguel Reece, thank you for your sacrifice. We appreciate
and service.
And service and your time on the show this morning.